Hello, Frankly. Last week on the Facebooks, I told you I would answer your questions. You've asked me 20 of them, so I'm going to try to answer them in about 4 minutes. And go! Why is a raven like a writing desk? This was the question the Mad Hatter asked Alice in Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Alice was at a particularly confusing point in her narrative with Mad Hatters and mice in teacups and crazy rabbits and disembodied cats. Oh my! The question was meant to illustrate the larger meaning of the book, that adult life just kind of seems crazy to children. Me too, children. Alice says it best when she answers, I think you might do something better with your time than wasting it with riddles that have no answers. Any clues about the meaning of life? This question feels to me a bit like the Mad Hatter's raven and writing desk. It's kind of like asking, what's the purpose of the story? Depending upon the story, there's probably a lot of different purposes. To entertain, to inspire, to reflect upon with friends. In the same way, I don't think there's a single meaning to life. I think that everyone should answer this question like they're the author of their own story, because to a certain extent, we are. Why is there something rather than nothing? Lots of Mad Hatters here, I see. There's something rather than nothing because nothing wanted something to talk about it. What is the ultimate question to which the answer is 42? Douglas Adams, the maddest of the Hatters. In Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a supercomputer computes the answer to life, the universe, and everything as 42. When people say they don't understand, the computer says it's because they don't know the right question. Much like the Mad Hatter, it was meant to be nonsensical. This said, I'd like to think that Mr. Adams was making a statement about seeking the right questions before looking for answers. But what do I know? I'm as mad as the rest of you. Why do you wear different colored socks? I assume you're meaning these socks. I always wear mismatched socks because I like to give myself reminders of the most important things. Like, it's okay to be different, and things are fun when they're colorful. How would you describe your ankles? Dainty? Do animals have minds? How might we figure it out? Well, you're an animal, I'm an animal. Do we have minds? I suppose we can't really know if others, or even ourselves, have thoughts or emotions. We can't get out of our subjective experience to verify it. But if we think we do, I suppose it's worth asking why we think we do. We're only a small genetic difference from our closest monkey relative. And I don't think they behave that differently from us. With the exception of throwing poo. If any of the attributes that make you think I have a mind can be transferred to non-human animals, I'd suggest you do so. I would rather falsely anthropomorphize than dehumanize, for lack of a better word. Why in the street do people show more signs of sympathy towards an animal than to a human in the same condition? Maybe we know that the homeless person is more like us than the dog, and we can't stand to see ourselves in a similar situation. Would you rather steal an elderly woman's purse or tell 10 orphans that Santa isn't real? I would definitely rather tell 10 orphans that Santa doesn't exist. Who lied to orphans in the first place? Don't these kids have enough disappointment to deal with? Cynical bastard! What is love? In my opinion, love is when you believe in your story with another person. Where did babies come from? Oh, frankly, it looks like love is in the air. Well, when a mommy and daddy love each other very much... Let me consult Uncle Google. Oh. You should probably consult Uncle Google yourself. When will this rash clear? Oh, maybe you consulted the wrong parts of Uncle Google. I would suggest you consult your doctor and maybe put talks of babies on hold for a little bit. Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Are you crazy? Can you imagine a horse-sized duck? That's terrifying. Duck-sized horses, on the other hand, adorable. But I wouldn't want to fight them, I'd want to cuddle them. Then sell them on eBay for a profit. Cynical bastard! What's the right frame of mind and environment to contemplate the collective and individual big-picture issues we face? Right frame of mind? Be here and now. We spend a lot of mental time everywhere except in this moment, and we're not going to face now unless we're present to it. Right environment? Community. Any big-picture issues are going to take us facing them together, but first we have to be in community, not just in groups. Whatever happened to Kathy Najmeh? Kathy Najmeh? From Sister Act? And Hocus Pocus? Last I heard, she was a voice actress and a feminist activist. Preach it, sister! Why do witches burn? Because they get too hot. Aw, poor witches. Kathy Najmeh suggests you keep your witches at room temperature if at all possible. Preach it, sister! What do you sound like when you sing in Japanese? An American. Explain why finding the Higgs Boson particle is significant. In my opinion, it's significant because it's a perfect example of what science should be. Teams of people from around the globe collaborating in a search for truth in an unbiased way. But I assume you mean, why is the existence of the Higgs boson significant information for science to have? The Higgs boson explains why matter has mass, but that's about all I understand about it. Whenever I read about it, all I hear is data, 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 science, data, data, magic. Hank Green from the SciShow does the best job I've heard explaining it. Check the link in my pants. Answer the first question, the question that must never be answered, the question that he's been running from all his life. Doctor Who? Well, from what I hear, the answer is... Frankly, I'll see you next week.